Now the next topic that we are going to discuss is business reports. So, I hope you have heard about reports. Like when we were small, when you were kid, let's say, you must have heard about report card. And when in nursery and when in first standard, second standard, in those very young years of your life, those report cards were something which were very impactful, creating so much of impact. If your friends are getting, let's say, first rank or second rank, um, then you will, you'll be really serious that, okay, next time I will also work hard. Or your parents must be really serious about those report cards, about the grades that you're getting and all that. So what is that report card? That report card was giving an overview of your grades, of your education journey for the whole year, of how you studied. So same way, now what we are discussing now is a kind of business reports. So we are just talking about different types of reports, and these reports actually, they are just talking about facts, and they are just telling us, giving us information on any topic, anything that a report is related to. Now let's say that you go to the hospital and doctor will say that, okay, you get the report done, let's get the x-ray done. So all these laboratory reports, what are they? They are also the reports, right? They're just giving an overview of something. And in business, it is very very essential to prepare reports, because see, top management would want to know that compared to last year, how was the performance this year. Now top management will not sit and look at the figures of each and every day and each and every month, but somebody will prepare a report and give them the overview of how the performance was compared to last year or over the last 5 years. So report always helps in gathering important information, and all the important business decisions are dependent upon the business reports. Let's say that about a sales report can talk about the sales performance. How was the sales performance, monthly sales performance or quarterly sales performance, or report of employees training program. One report will be telling that when we gave training to the employees, how was the post training evaluation, what is the report, right? What is the difference between the training, or let's say performance of the employees from one particular department, then a report is going to share about information about that. So business reports are very important these days. This is the time of analytics now, business analytics. So HR analytics, finance analytics, marketing analytics. So what is this analytics? After analyzing the available data, you are trying to prepare a report, you are trying to reach to a conclusion so that you can take an important business decision. So that's why we are talking about the business reports. But yeah, earlier, business reports were manually prepared. Business reports can take any format. For example, business report can take format of a letter also. You're writing somebody a letter, and in which all the details are mentioned. Or a business report can take a format of a memorandum also. Or business report can be attached as an email also. Or the entire detailed report of 100 pages can also be shared. Right, for example, government census takes place every 10 years, so you can see those documents, that the entire census report on the government website. So what is that? That is also a report. So a lot of important decisions will be taken by the government, and they will make 5-year plans based on the information that has been collected or gathered from the report. So this is about the this is about any kind of reports. Now what we are going to discuss now is business reports. A report is usually a piece of factual writing based on evidence, containing organized information on a particular topic. So it is usually a piece of factual writing. Some facts that you're writing, they are not, they are not random numbers. They are the facts. Whatever is the case, they are exactly the real numbers, and they are based on the evidence containing organized information on a particular topic. So that is about reports. Now, why are reports important? First thing, only tangible product, because it is only the tangible product of a professional. Reports are only tangible product of professional. They have something on hand, and they will be able to take the decision looking at the report. So that's why reports are important. it enables decision making and also problem solving. You can solve a lot of problems looking at those reports, because exactly you will know where the problem lies and what solution can be given. So not just important decisions, but yeah, problems can also be solved. Now when looking at the figures, it the reports helps in planning and evaluating. You can plan further. If you know that compared to last year your sales figures have gone down, you are looking at the sales report and you can say that compared to last 5 years, this year your sales have gone down. That means there is some problem. So now you plan what different marketing strategies can you apply, or what new people would you like to hire, who can help in increasing or boosting the sales. You really need new people, you really need new strategies, you really need new innovative products, you really need to check on the cost. So number of things are there, so you can plan now looking at the reports. It transmit information across an outside organization, right? It transmit information, so it can you can also share information out across and outside the organization, and it serve as a measure of growth, progress, or success. Reports also serve as a measure of growth, progress, or success. It tells us obviously whether we are successful this year or not, whether how is the progress, compared to the past year. Your own report card, talking about, let's say, your semester results, semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, semester 4. You can just see whether you have you have achieved some, you have done some kind of progress or not, right? You can check the growth level, or you can see how much successful you were. And it also serves as a valuable repository of information. So you cannot see, it's not possible to save data, each and every data, it's not possible, but you can always store the reports, because report, they already contain the facts and they are a kind of summary, so it's easier to save the reports. Let's say that in your organization, if you're working in an organization and some events are taking place, so then somebody will prepare a report. Those reports, will contain the data as well as the pictures of what kind of event, when it happened, and who participated. So even with photographs, that will always remain. So you can always check in the past what kind of celebrations were taking place, or what kind of events we have gathered or we have organized. For educational institution, let's say that there are accreditation, that gives them scores, like whether it's A plus or A or B grade or C grade, what level of institution it is. So for them it is very essential to maintain the record or prepare a report of each and every event happening in the organization, because you're already doing so many things. So you can tell people that, see, my organization or my institution is the best, we are doing so much, and on the basis of that you will be considered for those accreditation, some scores that you will be getting. Then you can also develop the skills in the writer. Writer's skill obviously is developed if you are writing good reports. So report writing is also a skilled job. Everybody cannot write a report, they would not even know what information has to be put in the reports. So writing reports is also a skillful activity. Now again, as I said earlier, it was manually written. People used to maintain the hard copies of the report, but nowadays everything is done online, so soft copies will be there. You can write the report in any format. Maybe you can write the report depending upon the requirement and depending upon the purpose. It can be 1 page, it can be 2 page, 10 page, 50, 100 page. You can write in the word file and attach it or share it with your seniors and save it. So anyway, it develops skills in the writer. So this is about why reports are important. Now the objectives of the report. So I request you to please go through the slide, objectives of reports. Okay, some of the objectives of reports. First one, to present a record of accomplished work, right? So if you're preparing a project report, let's say as an MBA students also, you will be asked to prepare a summer internship report or a project report. You will be working on some project and you will be writing a report. So that report, what is that? What does that suggest? It suggests that you have accomplished something. You have done some kind of research and now you are coming up with some kind of conclusion. So report can be useful to present a record of accomplished work. Or you can also record an experiment. Suppose you're working in a laboratory and you are experimenting new things, then you will prepare a report at the end, recording your experiment. Or whatever your research findings are, at the end you're going to record them. Or you can document schedules, you can document timetable, you can document milestones, everything are part of the report. They can also be an inspection report. Now inspection is very common, you must be reading in newspapers also, that some inspection, tax inspection, or inspection in some stores, let's say in eateries and in restaurants, anything, any kind of inspection taking place in the organization. So after the inspection report will be prepared to share about the current status. It's not talking about the past, but at present, after the inspection, this is what is the result. So it is talking about the inspection report. Then next one, to tell about failures and successes. Next objective of the report is to tell about failures and success, how much you have failed and what about the success ratio. So that is a report talking about the failures and success. Another thing is annual report. So annual report is going to talk about present information to large number of. Now companies annual reports are very common again, right? Before, let's say you want to purchase shares of some company, so before investing in that company you would like to know the position of the company, right? What is the annual report talking, what is the financial position of the company, what the shareholders have to say, what do they have to offer. So mostly you can find annual reports on the websites also, or there are some websites from which you can gather the data and go through those reports, because it is actually talking about the position of the company, be it financial position or any other position of the company. So it is going to talk about present information, and annual reports are useful to large number of people. It's not just meant for the insiders to know what is happening, but it is meant for everybody. Like annual reports of the company, anybody can see and take some important decisions. Next one, recommend actions for problem solving. So there can be recommendatory report also, another objective of report. The idea of writing a report is actually to recommend a solution for some kind of problem. So there are some problems and you are expecting the person who is actually preparing a report, to suggest us some kind of solution, that what can we do. For example, see, if a company is not performing well um, continuously, like last year, third year it could not perform well, last year could not perform well, 1 year could not perform well, sales are deteriorating, employees are leaving, so that means there is some problem within the organization. Now there are some experts that will be invited within the organization who will go through entire organization. They are called practitioners, or they are called change agents, who are trying to bring about changes in the organization and will help organization in development. So they will go through everything, what are the company's goals, objectives, how many departments are there, what is the work style, what are the products, who are the employees, what are they responsible for, what is the sales report. So each and everything, all the processes within the organization will be checked, and then finally they will present a report to the organization suggesting some changes. They can suggest that restructuring is the right solution, or they can suggest that we won't be able to do it alone, merger is the right solution, or they can bring about some changes in the organization structure, that this person is not a good leader, that person should be changed. So anything. So they are called recommendatory reports, because they will be sharing about the solution to the problems which organization is already facing. So these are the different objectives of report. Depending upon the objective, different types of reports will be prepared within the organization. Now we are going to discuss about different categories of reports. So please have a look. Now these are the categories of the report. So first one, on the basis of purpose. You know, the categories, the reports will change, the way it's written it will change depending on the purpose of writing. For example, whether the purpose is only to share the information or it is analytical in nature. Now suppose it is only for the purpose of information, then you can just write a memo also, and you can share that report. Or if it is analytical in nature, then it can be the entire detailed, it can be the document also or manuscript also, right? So depending on the purpose, it can be either informative or analytical. Depending on the basis of frequency, how frequently you are writing the report. For example, is it periodic? Every month you are preparing a sales report and sending to the CEO of the company or to the sales manager of the company. What is it? Is it periodic? Then it will be short. Or it is special report. It can be special report also, some special event just took place, and because of which you were writing a report, so that is called special report. Next, on the basis of mode of presentation, how are you presenting the report? Is it oral report or it is written report? Yeah, how are you presenting that report, orally or in a written form? Or on the basis of length, is it a long report or it is a short report? Whether it is a long report or it is a short report. Again, if it is a long report, then you cannot write a letter or memo. How can you write 50 pages letter or memo? Right? So if it is a long letter, then definitely you will have to prepare entire document, entire manuscript. And if it is a short report, then it can take any other form. Or another division could be on the basis of approach. How you're approaching the report, whether it's formal or it's informal. If it's formal, it can be in the form of letter or any other form. Or if it's informal, then it can be a memo format or like that. And on the basis of the target audience is also very important. So you're preparing a report for one particular individual or for group of people. If it is only meant for one individual, let's say only for the boss to know what is the status of the work, then it is individual. And if it is meant for group, then maybe you want to you want to write in detail so that everybody can understand the report. So that is on the basis of target audience, either it's individual or it's group. So these are the different categories of reports based on purpose, frequency, mode of presentation, length, approach, and target audience. Okay, I hope I can move ahead now. Now, what are the formats what is the format in which it can be prepared? So there are a number of formats. For example, first one can be manuscript. So manuscript is a type of format, in which you can prepare a report in detail. Means it can be lengthy. It can be lengthy report. So, for example, that as I told you that you're preparing an annual report, then annual report cannot be in the form of letter, right? It has to be a manuscript. So it means the entire document will be written in detail, and yeah, everything will be either, it's of course it's either handwritten or it's typewritten, whatever it is. Mostly it's typewritten nowadays, but it is mostly submitted for publication also, because it's a manuscript and people would like to read it in detail. So that is called a manuscript. Next one is memo format. We have already discussed what is memo, and reports can be written in a memo format. So memo, information can be part of memo, or there can be an attachment also. For example, you are writing a memo to another department, HR department, let's say, saying that we need employees, these many employees in the coming 3 months. So that information can be part of memo, and there can be an attachment talking about, over the period of years, what can be the turnover ratio, how many people are going to leave, and that's why we feel that we need to hire more people. So either the information can be part of memo or it can be an attachment. When we are talking about letter, either the information can be part of the letter, those 1 2 pages, or there can be an attachment also, because we always have the attachment. So you just write a letter saying, indicating somebody that you are sharing this report and you are expecting some kind of analysis done, and then whatever information is there, that can be an attachment. Or it can be a pre-printed form also. For example, form is ready, and it's like a report card. Form is ready, all you have to do is, like, about each and every employee, you keep writing the report about the performance. So these are the format of the report. Now what is important is pre-writing steps to write a report. Now what are the steps to write a report? Please go through the slide. Alright, so there are basically five steps, pre-writing steps to write a report. First one is understanding the purpose and scope. Second one, analyzing the audience. Third one, investigating the sources of information. Fourth one, organizing the material. And fifth one, making an outline. First what you try and do is you try and understand why you are writing the report, because that will decide the tone of the language and what format you will be writing, everything. So first understand the purpose and what is the scope of report. Second thing you want to do is try and analyze the audience. Who is the audience. Third one, now you need to investigate the sources of information, because you need to collect the information before preparing the report. So then, what sources of information will you use for data collection? After collecting the data, what you will do is you will try and organize the material. You want to organize all the material that you have. And fifth one, you will make an outline. Finally, you will make an outline. So we're going to just discuss these steps in detail. First one, clearly define the factors that you are going to study in your report. When you are deciding about the purpose and the scope, all you need to do is define the factors that you are going to study in your report. So a report on attrition rate in a company, for example, you are trying to prepare a report on the attrition rate. So how many employees are again leaving the organization? Then what factors will you study? You will see if whether their salaries are fine, whether you are offering them enough perks, additional benefits. You will also check their workload, whether they are they overloaded. Is that the reason why they are leaving the organization? Or performance evaluation procedures, whether they are not satisfied with performance evaluation, means end of the year they are not getting promotion, that's why they are leaving. So your purpose should be very clear. Purpose is I want to prepare a report on attrition rate, and you decide your scope also, that in order to understand the attrition rate, I will be considering the factors like salary, perk, workload, and performance evaluation procedure. So it becomes very clear. Preparing report becomes much easier because you already know what you have to see. Otherwise it becomes very random, to collect the data which has no end. So you need to decide, even when you are doing your own research on any particular topic, let's say during your summer internships or later, then you just need to decide the factors and decide the scope of your report. It's very important. Objectives are clear, scope is clear, that this is what I have included. There can be 100 other things, but I am going to research on these important things. So that is understanding the purpose and scope. Second one is analyzing the audience. So let's quickly take a look at
knowing your audience. Knowing your audience is key. A writer that knows his or her audience will know how to best communicate so that the message is received. Lisa is having a problem of not knowing her audience and therefore is unsure of her message being received. Knowing your audience. Knowing your audience is key. A writer that knows his or her audience will know how to best communicate so that the message is received. Lisa is having a problem of not knowing her audience and therefore is unsure of her message being received.
I am sending my report to the department managers. How should they be addressed? What facts do they want to see?
Have you ever written a report for them before?
No, I am a bit worried. I've never even met most of the managers.
Don't worry. I have a few pointers for you. First, you need to understand there are many barriers that threaten the receptivity of your report, but knowing your audience is one way to overcome these challenges.
It may be fitting to define your credentials in the introduction of the report. So let's hear some of John's pointers.
Think about reading your report from their point of view. Many, if not all of your audience, will be asking, why should I read this report?
Where should I begin?
It would make a big difference if the managers knew right away that you are the head of the sales department and have been with the company 8 years. These credentials will build confidence in your audience and assure them that their time will not be wasted by misinformation or ill motivation.
Especially if your report is aiming to persuade the reader, you should articulate the risk of not reading the report. This should be subtle but clear. Let's see how Lisa is doing.
Using
I hope you realize the importance of knowing your audience. So there are different ways in which we are talking about knowing your audience. Yeah. So even when you are preparing your report for the managers, understand their expectations. What are they looking for from that report? So accordingly, you can prepare the report. Otherwise, entirely the report can go waste. Now, see, when we are talking about audience, there can be experts, there can be executives and there can be non-specialists, right? So if you're preparing a report, let's say for non-specialists, then you need to prepare a detailed report, because they would not understand the short forms or acronyms, and they would not know the terms, which are very common in the corporate world. So then you need to prepare the report which is much more in a simpler language. Or if you're preparing the report for experts, then it can be precise, concise, just talking about what are your observations and how it is useful. And if it is for executive level person, then same. What are the characteristics for analysis? Like when you are analyzing the audience, understand what is their knowledge level, what is their experience and training. So if somebody is knowledgeable, if they know exactly what you're talking about, then you don't need to write a detailed report mentioning each and everything. But if the knowledge level is less, if they are not experienced, if they are not trained, and if the terms that you use are new for them, then you need to prepare a simpler report. You also need to understand what is the need and interest of that person, right? If you're just doing a formality, then you can prepare report accordingly. But if you know that this is of utmost importance and the other person is really going to take a very major decision depending upon your report, then you need to critically prepare the report, because it's going to be important. Even for example, the laboratory report or medical reports, they are so much important. The doctor is going to recommend the surgery, or doctor is going to recommend the medicines based on the reports which they see. So if the reports are not made properly, or the reports are not they are done properly, then what will happen? A person's life can also be in danger. The next one is demographic characteristics, for whom you are preparing the report. That also you see, again, the person belongs to different age group. If you're preparing for a young person or you're preparing for a very senior person, it makes a difference. So you see the gender, you see the age group, you see the background, education level, and all these things should be considered. You should also see if it is for mixed audience. Sometimes it is for knowledgeable as well as non-knowledgeable person, or sometimes it is for a very senior level person and an average person. So you need to understand the mixed audience. And the last one is unknown audience. If you are preparing for unknown audience, again the language has to be simple. For example, if you are preparing the annual report of the company, of course you know that top management and all the stakeholders or the shareholders are going to see the reports. But apart from that, if you are going to put that report on the website, anybody will be able to, any unknown audience will also be referring to your report. So you have to prepare your report accordingly. Then step number 3, sources of information, right? How will you gather the data? So there are two sources. One is called primary source and one is secondary source. Whenever you're trying to collect the data for preparing the report, primary source means you can do your own surveys by asking questionnaire, by preparing questionnaire, by asking questions, by doing surveys, observations, experiment, etc. And of course, the drawback is that the process must be monitored for accurate, unbiased findings. And when it is a secondary report, you can the sources could be books or internet or report or newspapers or journals, etc. And again, the drawback could be information may be inaccurate or outdated or biased. So these are the secondary source of information. So primary is, as I mentioned, questionnaire, surveys, observation, etc. And secondary could be books, net, reports, internet, or newspapers, or some journals, or already gathered data. You're just trying to use the secondary source of information for preparing the report. So that is sources of information. After that, what you do is you organize the material. So how do you organize the material? So when you're organizing the material, you organize on the basis of the order of occurrence. जैसे जैसे बनता गया है, जैसे जैसे हुआ है, as per the dates, as per the timeline, you prepare the report. So that is one way. Or the second thing is on the order of importance. As in how it is important, you should prepare the report on the order of importance. Important things on the top, then less important next, like that. Or it can be combination of the orders also. However it is combined, you can just try and prepare the report. finally, making an outline. So, an outline is a mechanical framework into which the information collected for the report can be fitted in bits and pieces. So, it is an outline, right? Some kind of framework into which information, whatever information has been collected for the report, can be fitted in bits and pieces. Means you're just trying to prepare an outline, and then finally you'll prepare the report. Now, some of the other types of report, if you look at the examples, the types of report, then it can be introductory reports, or it can be progress reports. Introductory report or progress report, you're just talking about the progress of an employee or the department, like that. Or you can see the incident report. If some incident has taken place, let's say fire burst out, or there was violence in the organization, or employees went on strike, then those incidents you can prepare a report, because top management would like to know what happened. So that is called incident report. Or some could be feasibility reports, before introducing or launching a new product, you want to check the feasibility, how much feasible it is, whether there will be demand in the market or not. So you do some kind of feasibility study. I will also show you the example. And then there are marketing reports. Marketing reports are very common, talking about what kind of marketing strategies are used, and what is the sales figure, how well are we doing with the sales. So those are the marketing reports. Next one is laboratory test report. Very common, all of us do this. Blood test तो सबने करवाया होगा, and apart from that, different as per the requirement. And one is project report. Like as an MBA students, you will be preparing your project reports, right? You will be working on any particular topic, you will be going to the market, visiting the companies, doing the surveys, and you will be preparing the entire 100-page report, or any number, but a detailed report. So that is called project report. Means you're working on one particular project, and then you are preparing a report. So that is called a project report. I would like to show you what is the outline of the project report. Let's see one by one. So you can just go through the slide. Yeah, we're talking about the progress report. So it is going to talk about progress of some project. It informs the reader about the status of a particular project, and these are the elements: title, plan of the work to be completed, date, what is the work that has already been completed, what work yet to be completed, possible date of completion, plans and outlook for the future, remarks, signature. So senior top management would like to know, where we are on the project. So then you will have to share a report, progress report, talking about where we are, how much has been done, what are the expected dates of completion, and all that, what are the plans for the future. So that's how it is. Okay, I hope we can move ahead. Please go through the feasibility report explanation. Okay. So it is an analytical report that presents solution or evaluates alternatives to resolve a problem. The focus is on the action to be taken and the conditions under which action will be successful. A good feasibility report discusses on all possible factors and emphasizes the important aspects. For example, a person might write a feasibility report in which he investigates whether it would be better for his company to buy letter quality or dot metrics, whatever, right? So you just try and do the feasibility report. Now, what are the process of writing the feasibility report? Please go through. क्यों आप परेशान हो रहे हो यार?
सर मैं 20-25 हज़ार रुपये बस 5-7 दिन लगेंगे.
पर अभी इसी 5-7 दिन में if you are planning, then
आई डोंट नो यार, मतलब अभी डिसाइड ही नहीं कर पा रहे ना.